Have you ever wondered why so many older adults never make it to the hospital after a heart attack? Here's a fact that might shock you. Almost half of all heart attack deaths happen before help even arrives. Not because people don't care about their health, but because they wait, they think it's just gas stress or fatigue. But in those quiet minutes of hesitation, precious heart muscle dies and life can slip away without warning. If you're over 60, this could happen when you least expect it while resting, gardening, or watching TV. Today, I'll show you exactly what to do if a heart attack strikes and you're all alone. 7 simple science-backed steps that could literally save your life. Before we begin, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching this from and what time of day is it right now? Leave a comment below. I personally read each one. And if you find this topic helpful, hit the subscribe button, or if not, just give it a like anyway. Either way, your reaction tells me you care about your health, and that's the most important step of all. Mistaken beliefs and why so many seniors don't reach the hospital. In time, for many older Americans, the first signs of a heart attack don't feel like an emergency. They feel like just gas, maybe a little indigestion, or the kind of tightness you get after lifting something heavy. Most people tell themselves, "I'll be fine." That quiet voice of denial is powerful, and it's often deadly. You see, we grew up in a culture that prizes toughness. Many seniors were raised to tough it out, to keep going, to not make a fuss, or call for help unless it's absolutely necessary. But when it comes to your heart, that same mindset can turn a treatable condition into a tragedy. According to the American Heart Association, nearly 1 in 3 people over 60 waits more than 2 hours after the first warning signs appear before calling 911. 2 hours. That's a lifetime for your heart muscle. Part of the problem is that heart attacks don't always look or feel like what you've seen in the movies. It's not always someone clutching their chest and collapsing. Sometimes it starts as a mild pressure, like someone resting a hand on your chest, that slowly grows heavier. Sometimes it's shortness of breath while walking to the kitchen. Other times it's cold sweats, dizziness, or nausea that doesn't make sense. For some, the pain spreads to the shoulders, the neck, or the back instead of the chest. For others, there's only fatigue, a sense that something is off but not urgent. That's why so many seniors hesitate. They don't want to seem dramatic. They don't want to bother the neighbors or wake the kids. But hesitation costs lives. Every minute that passes means less oxygen to your heart and more damage that can't be undone. Imagine this: a man in his late 60s sitting in his recliner after dinner. He feels pressure in his chest but assumes it's heartburn. He decides to wait, maybe drink some water, maybe rest for a bit. By the time his family finds him, the damage is already done. Now picture another man, same age, same feeling, but he picks up the phone and calls 911 right away. He's treated quickly, recovers well, and goes home to see his grandchildren again. The only difference between them was a single decision to act. So if you ever feel that strange pressure, that unexplained shortness of breath, that wave of nausea or cold sweat, don't wait to see if it passes. Treat it as serious until proven otherwise. You know your body better than anyone, and your instincts matter. The goal of this video isn't to scare you, it's to prepare you. Because the truth is, you have far more control than you think. Let's go step by step. Step 7. Call emergency services. Immediately, when it comes to a heart attack, every second counts. Doctors often use a simple phrase, "time is muscle." What that means is clear: the longer blood flow to your heart is blocked, the more muscle tissue dies. Once those cells are gone, they can't be replaced. That's why the first 5 minutes after symptoms begin are called the golden window. In those few moments, your decision can determine whether you walk out of the hospital on your own or never make it there at all. Yet many seniors hesitate. They don't want to cause a fuss or bother anyone. Some think it might just be indigestion or anxiety. Others convince themselves that if they rest for a while, it will pass. That small hesitation, those quiet minutes of waiting, are what steals so many lives each year. I remember a man from Florida, 68 years old, who felt pressure in his chest after dinner. He told his wife it was probably heartburn and decided to wait it out. By the time paramedics arrived, too much of his heart had been damaged to save him. His doctor later said that if he had called within the first 10 minutes, he likely would have survived with only minor injury. Then there was a woman in Michigan, 72, who felt the same strange pressure one morning. Instead of doubting herself, she sat down, picked up her phone, and called 911. She told the operator clearly, "I think I'm having a heart attack." Within minutes, the ambulance arrived and she received treatment in time. Today, she's alive and still enjoys walking her dog each afternoon. One simple decision, the choice to act fast, made all the difference. So here's what to do if you ever feel that heavy chest pressure, shortness of breath, or cold sweat. Sit down immediately to avoid falling or fainting. Stay calm. Then dial 911. When the operator answers, don't downplay your symptoms. Say the words clearly, "I think I'm having a heart attack." That sentence triggers an urgent response. Paramedics are trained to reach you fast and start treatment before you even arrive at the hospital. And please don't ever try to drive yourself. Even a short trip could turn deadly if you lose consciousness on the road. Let trained professionals come to you. That's what they're there for. If you live alone, keep your phone nearby at all times, maybe on a table or clipped to your clothing. Practice saying the words out loud so they come naturally in an emergency. Remember, you are not being dramatic and you're not bothering anyone. You are saving your own life. Every minute of delay means more damage to your heart and less chance of recovery. So promise yourself this if you ever feel the warning signs, call first. Don't hesitate. Those few seconds of courage could give you years of life to enjoy. Step 6. Chew an aspirin. If you've ever wondered what the simplest, most powerful first aid tool in your home might be, it's not hidden in some fancy kit or behind a locked cabinet. It's probably sitting quietly in your bathroom or kitchen, a small bottle of plain aspirin. Doctors often call it first aid inside your medicine cabinet, and for good reason. When a heart attack strikes, aspirin can literally buy you time. Here's how it works. Most heart attacks begin when a clot forms and blocks the flow of blood to your heart muscle. That blockage cuts off oxygen, and within minutes, heart cells start to die. Aspirin helps by thinning the blood and slowing down the clot's growth. It doesn't cure the heart attack, but it keeps some blood moving enough to protect part of the heart until paramedics arrive. In other words, it holds the line until help can take over. But there's a right way and a wrong way to take it. The correct method is to chew the tablet, not swallow it whole. Chewing breaks it down quickly, allowing the medicine to enter your bloodstream through the tissues in your mouth and stomach almost immediately. Swallowing a whole pill can take 10 minutes or more to start working, precious time you may not have. When every heartbeat matters, those extra minutes can mean the difference between recovery and tragedy. Doctors recommend 325 milligram uncoated aspirin, not the enteric-coated version that's made to dissolve slowly. You need the medicine to act fast, not hours later. If you know you're allergic to aspirin, have stomach ulcers, or if your doctor has told you to avoid it, skip this step. Otherwise, it's one of the most effective things you can do while waiting for emergency help. I'll never forget the story of a 70-year-old bus driver from Indiana. He was home alone when a crushing pain hit his chest. His breathing grew shallow, and he felt the sweat on his forehead. But he remembered something his doctor once said during a checkup. If you ever feel that kind of pain, chew an aspirin and call 911. He did exactly that. Paramedics arrived minutes later, and the doctors told him that single decision kept enough blood flowing to prevent major heart damage. A week later, he walked out of the hospital on his own 2 feet. If you're over 60, it's smart to keep a small bottle of uncoated aspirin somewhere you can reach easily by your bedside, on your kitchen counter, or in your purse or wallet if you travel. In an emergency, you won't have time to look for it. It's a simple habit that can save your life or the life of someone you love. And of course, always talk with your doctor first, especially if you're taking blood thinners or have bleeding issues. Ask if chewing 1 full-strength aspirin is safe for you. Think of it as preparing your safety plan, just like having a smoke detector or keeping a spare key near the door. A single small tablet, something you can hold in the palm of your hand, might one day make the difference between losing everything and surviving to see tomorrow. So don't overlook it. Chew, don't swallow. Act quickly, stay calm, and remember in those critical moments you have more power to save yourself than you might think. Step 5. Sit upright and loosen tight clothing. When a heart attack strikes, even small choices can make a big difference, including how you position your body. It might not sound important, but the way you sit or lie down can directly affect how well your heart and lungs keep you alive in those first few minutes. Here's why. When you lie flat, your heart has to work harder to push blood through your body. The weight of your chest presses against your lungs, making it more difficult to breathe and forcing your heart to strain even more. For older adults, especially those with weak circulation or lung conditions like COPD, that extra effort can be dangerous. Sitting upright, on the other hand, gives your lungs room to expand and reduces the pressure on your chest. It allows oxygen to flow more freely, something your struggling heart desperately needs. If you ever feel the symptoms of a heart attack, chest pressure, shortness of breath, or sudden dizziness, take a moment to adjust your posture. Sit upright in a sturdy chair or against a wall at about a 45-degree angle. Rest your back for support, keep your head elevated, and try to relax your shoulders. This position helps your heart maintain steady circulation while easing the burden on your lungs. Next, loosen any tight clothing. Unbuckle your belt, loosen your collar or tie. If you're wearing a snug bra or waistband, adjust it to release pressure around your chest and stomach. These little steps may seem trivial, but they help your body work with you instead of against you. You're essentially removing anything that restricts blood flow or squeezes your chest, and that's exactly what your heart needs at that moment. A few years ago, a 74-year-old woman from Florida shared her story with me. She was gardening when she suddenly felt a heavy pressure across her chest. Instead of lying down in panic, she moved to her porch, sat in a chair, loosened her apron, and leaned back slightly while waiting for help. Her doctor later told her that simple decision to stay upright and relaxed kept her oxygen levels steady and likely prevented her from passing out before paramedics arrived. So if you ever find yourself in that terrifying moment, remember this: don't lie down flat and don't tighten up from fear. Sit tall, breathe slowly, and give your body every chance to do what it's built to do: survive. Think of it this way: you're giving your heart room to breathe. Sometimes that's the greatest act of strength: staying calm, creating space, and letting your body fight back with the best odds possible. Step 4. Cough CPR. How a simple cough can keep you alive. There's a little-known technique that has quietly saved lives, yet many people have never heard of it. It's called cough CPR, and while it's not a cure for a heart attack, it can help you stay conscious and buy precious time until help arrives. Here's how it works. During a heart attack or sudden irregular heartbeat, blood flow to the brain can drop dramatically. When that happens, you may start to feel faint, dizzy, or even close to blacking out. By coughing forcefully and repeatedly, you create pressure inside your chest, the same kind of pressure your heart uses to push blood through your body. Each strong cough acts almost like a mini heartbeat, helping move oxygen-rich blood to your brain for a few more moments. It's not perfect, but it can keep you alert long enough for emergency care to reach you. If you ever feel that wave of dizziness, narrowing vision, or sudden weakness, take a deep breath, then cough hard as if you're trying to clear your throat. Repeat this every 2 to 3 seconds, rhythmically and firmly, until help arrives or the feeling passes. The deep breath fills your lungs with oxygen, and each strong cough squeezes your chest, keeping blood flowing just enough to keep your brain awake. Now it's important to be clear: cough CPR is not a replacement for medical treatment. It doesn't fix the blockage or stop the heart attack itself. What it does is buy time-precious, life-saving seconds that can make all the difference before paramedics take over. Let me share a story that perfectly illustrates its power. A 69-year-old mechanic in Texas was working alone in his garage when he suddenly felt an intense pressure in his chest. His vision blurred and his knees began to buckle. He remembered hearing once about a coughing trick for emergencies. So he took a deep breath and began coughing hard again and again while reaching for his phone. Those repeated coughs kept him conscious long enough to dial 911 and stay on the line until paramedics arrived. Later, his doctor told him that those few minutes of conscious effort likely prevented irreversible brain damage or even death. That story isn't about luck. It's about quick thinking and calm under pressure. When fear strikes, your first instinct may be to freeze, but courage often looks like small, deliberate action, like one deep breath followed by one strong cough. So remember this technique not with fear, but with confidence. If the moment ever comes, you'll know exactly what to do. Cough CPR doesn't replace medical help, but it might give your heart and your life just enough time to keep going until help arrives. Step 3. Unlock the door and keep your phone nearby. In an emergency, every second matters. Paramedics often say that a delay of even 1 or 2 minutes can decide whether someone lives or dies. And yet in many cases, those minutes are lost not because help came too late, but because rescuers couldn't get inside the house fast enough. A locked door, a misplaced phone, or a few feet too far from where you fell can make all the difference. Imagine this. A 73-year-old man in Arizona felt a tightness in his chest one evening. He recognized the signs but hesitated, thinking it might pass. When the pain grew stronger, he finally called 911, but before he could unlock the front door, he collapsed. Paramedics arrived quickly, but the door was bolted shut. They had to break it down, losing precious minutes. By the time they reached him, it was too late. The doctors said he likely could have survived if they'd reached him just a minute or two sooner. Now picture another story with a different ending. An 80-year-old woman in Florida began feeling short of breath and dizzy after dinner. Remembering what she'd seen in a health video, she grabbed her phone, called 911, and immediately unlocked her door. Then she sat near the entryway, phone in hand, waiting for the ambulance. When paramedics arrived, they walked right in, began treatment, and stabilized her heart before major damage occurred. A week later, she was home again, grateful that one small decision, unlocking the door, had saved her life. Here's what you can learn from these stories. If you ever feel that crushing pressure in your chest or sense that something isn't right, call for help first. Then if you can still move safely, unlock your door before you start to feel faint. Sit somewhere nearby a chair or the floor if you must, and stay calm. Keep your phone within arm's reach, ideally on speaker mode, so you can talk to emergency operators without holding it to your ear. They'll stay with you until help arrives, guiding you through what to do next. And here's a habit worth forming today. Keep your phone close, especially when you're at home alone. Set it on a side table near your favorite chair or next to your bed at night. Many seniors leave their phones charging in another room, but during a crisis, even walking a few steps can be too far. It may sound simple, but preparation is power. You can't control when a heart attack happens, but you can control how easy it is for help to reach you. Remember this, your phone is your lifeline, and your unlocked door is your bridge to safety. One small act of readiness can mean everything when every heartbeat counts. Step 2, take slow, deep breaths. When a heart attack strikes, fear often hits just as hard. Your body reacts instantly, your heart races, your breathing quickens, and your mind starts to panic. That's adrenaline at work, your body's built-in fight or flight response. But in this moment, that surge of energy can make things worse. It forces your already struggling heart to beat faster, raising blood pressure, and draining the oxygen your body desperately needs. The key to calming this dangerous chain reaction lies in something so simple yet so powerful: your breath. Slow, deep breathing can help you take back control. It tells your nervous system to stand down, signals your heart to slow its rhythm, and helps oxygen reach your brain and muscles more efficiently. Here's how to do it. Sit upright or recline slightly if you need to. Place one hand on your belly and the other on your chest. Inhale gently through your nose for a count of 4, feeling your stomach rise under your hand, not your chest. Then exhale slowly through pursed lips, as if you're softly blowing through a straw for a count of 6. Try to keep your breath steady around 6 to 8 cycles per minute. It might feel awkward at first, but within a few moments, you'll sense your heartbeat start to settle and your mind begin to clear. This isn't meditation or relaxation therapy, it's science. Controlled breathing activates the vagus nerve, a long nerve that runs from your brain to your heart, helping regulate both heartbeat and stress hormones. It's the same technique used in cardiac rehab programs across the country to help seniors recover and prevent future attacks. Let me share one story that shows just how powerful this simple act can be. A 76-year-old retired nurse from Michigan once told me she survived her heart attack because she focused entirely on her breathing. When the pain hit and panic set in, she remembered her training. Instead of giving in to fear, she placed her hand on her stomach, closed her eyes, and began those slow, deliberate breaths. By the time paramedics arrived, she was weak but conscious, and her oxygen levels were steady. Her doctor later told her that staying calm and breathing slowly had likely kept her heart from collapsing under stress. So if that terrifying moment ever comes, remember this: you have more control than you think. Don't fight your body, guide it. Take slow, deep breaths one after another and give your heart the gift of calm. Each breath is a signal of strength, proof that even in crisis you can steady yourself and keep going until help arrives. Step 1. Stay still and calm. When a heart attack strikes, your first instinct might be to move to get up, to walk it off, to find something or someone to help. But that instinct, though natural, can be deadly. Movement makes your heart work harder at the exact moment it needs to rest. Every step, every sudden motion demands more oxygen from your body, and during a heart attack, oxygen is the one thing your heart doesn't have to spare. Think of it this way: your heart is like an engine running on fumes. It's struggling to keep going, trying to deliver the last bits of fuel where it's needed most. If you push that engine, if you rev it up, it could sputter out completely. The best thing you can do in that moment is to ease off the gas. Stay still. Let your heart conserve every ounce of strength it has left until help arrives. Science backs this up. When you remain calm and limit movement, your body uses oxygen more efficiently. Your stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol begin to settle. Your blood pressure and heart rate drop, slightly reducing the strain on your weakened heart. That calmness, that stillness isn't a luxury, it's a survival tool. So if you ever feel that crushing pressure in your chest or that wave of dizziness that makes the room spin, stop moving right away. Sit down or lie back in a comfortable position with your head slightly elevated if possible. If you're on the floor, prop yourself against a wall or piece of furniture to keep your airway open. The goal is simple: keep your body steady, your breathing slow, and your heart quiet. And as you wait, talk to yourself gently. Repeat the words I've called for help. I'm safe. I'm breathing. Say it again and again, not as a mantra of fear, but as a reminder of control. Because even in crisis, you still have power to stay calm, to breathe, and to keep yourself alive until the professionals arrive. Remember, stillness is strength. Calm is courage. The quiet moments you give your body now could buy you the minutes that save your life. So stay still, breathe deeply, and trust that help is already on its way. So let's take a moment to remember what we've learned together. 7 simple science-backed steps that could save your life when you're alone during a heart attack call. Emergency services: immediately chew an aspirin, sit upright and loosen your clothing. Use cough, CPR. If you feel faint, unlock your door and keep your phone close. Take slow, deep breaths, and finally stay as still and calm as possible. Each of these small actions adds up to something powerful: the difference between panic and preparation, between fear and survival. You can't choose when a heart attack strikes, but you can choose how prepared you are. That choice made today in a quiet moment of awareness could one day be what keeps you here, breathing alive and with the people you love. Now I'd love to hear from you. How old are you and what state are you watching from? Have you ever had to face a heart scare? or help someone who did. Share your story below. Your words might give hope to someone who needs it most. And before you go, share this video with a friend or family member who should know these steps too, because knowledge saves lives. And after 60, it could save yours.